Okay, then we're going to go into our room where you're going to have your case card that's already been pulled for your procedure. So you're going to utilize your surgeon's preference card in order to determine what will be open and what will be hold on the supplies that are included in this case card. The hold things are going to be positioned on top of the case card. The open things will be positioned on the bed. We'll assume that the patient's not in the room at this point, or on the various surfaces where they're going to be opened. Okay, so your camera can go on a Mayo stand, your scope and your light cord can go on a ring stand. Same for your set here. And at this time, you can also verify your indicators on the outside to make sure that they have passed and that they are present. And you have those tamper-evident arrows that are secure. Okay, we're going to place the pack on the back table. You're going to place the basin into a ring stand. You're going to have a suction irrigator that we want to place onto a flat surface to open as well. And then remember that your gown and gloves are going to be the gown and gloves that are listed on here. So whatever size you sign up for will be what's listed on here. So that will be the gown that you open on the Mayo stand, and the gloves that you will open one pair to the back table and then one pair onto the Mayo stand as well. So then you're just going to start to go through all of these other supplies, making sure that if it's open, it goes on the bed. If it's held, it just gets organized on the top. Okay, so we're going to have a shear and a clip applier that an unsterile person will open you after you're scrubbed in. You're going to have a Very's needle and 4 trocars that will also be open to you later on. We have a package of towels and a package of Raytex, as well as a suture that you're going to open to the field after we get the back table opened. You're going to have your gown, which is going to go on a Mayo, and you want to make sure that your gown is on the end Mayo, not in between. That way when you come in to don your sterile gown, you're not going to be between 2 sterile fields. And then your gloves, of course, that we're going to open to the Mayo stand. And then anything else that is going to be a hold item is just going to be organized on the top of the case card. That way if we needed it, the circulating nurse could open it very easily to us, as it's neat and organized up on the top of the case card. Okay. Then you're going to take your case card and just place it off to the side of the room so it's out of the way, so it's not going to impede your movement around your sterile fields. And then we're going to start to open. So if you hadn't put the mask on already, you would want to make sure that you put the mask on before you start to open the room. Alright, so just like with the laparotomy setup, we're going to open the back table first because it's the center of my field. Remember that you do have 45 minutes from when you open the back table until you hand the knife at the end of this setup. Okay, open the tape, grab the edges, make sure that you keep it level with the table and that you don't pull it too hard that it's going to shift the cover. Okay, make sure that you face the field when you're walking around, making sure you're at least 12 inches, 18 to 24 is better, away from the field, and keeping your hands in so that they're not going to get too close. Walk around to the other side. You can always move your surfaces so that you have extra room so that you are not going to come too close to walking around your sterile field. Open the second edge. Again, don't pull it too hard that it's going to shift the cover. Allow it to fall. And again, face the field as you walk around. Then we want to just start to work from the center out. So it doesn't matter if we do this side first or that side, but we want to make sure that now that we've opened the back table, I don't want to go and open this because then I'm going to have an item that's between 2 sterile fields. So I'm going to open the camera next. So this is just like a gown. So you go away from you, the 2 side flaps, and then the flap closest to you. The suction irrigator, you want to make sure that you peel this paper back and you don't want to reach over the laminated edge. So you can peel it back and leave it open, and we will receive it onto the field after we don our gown and gloves. You're going to take your gown out of the dust cover. Check the dust cover. Okay. And then you're going to open the gown. So envelope wrapped on a flat surface, away from you. The two side flaps. Always pulling tension against yourself so that you get rid of that memory. Okay, and again, now you have a sterile field over here, so you want to make sure you don't come here and get yourself between two sterile fields. Go to the outside, making sure that you don't reach over your sterile field to straighten out those flaps. Okay, then we're going to go to the other side. So I'll start with my basin. So the flap away from me, the two side flaps, and then the flap towards me. These are two separate levels, so when I bring this up, I want to make sure that there's at least 12 inches of space between the two. My scope. Break the tape, so it's going to be just like the basin. However, these are very large flaps, so you want to make sure that you guide them so that they don't come back up and contaminate. Okay. Flap away, two side flaps, and then the flap closest to you. Again, making sure that you don't get those items too close. When we open the Genesis pan, we're looking for the tamper evident arrows to make sure that they're intact and also that the indicator has changed on both sides. If they weren't intact or they weren't changed, then we would consider the pan to be unsterile. You're also looking for the two filters on this pan to make sure that they're present on the top. Cover the arrows and pop the lid. Make sure you watch out for all your unsterile surfaces that are around you. So I have this video tower that's over here. I want to make sure I'm not too close. So when you pull the lid, make sure you tilt it back. Don't drag it over the top. And this one happens to have two filters. So we're looking to make sure that on the edge there's filter and also that both of them are locked in place. And then we pull it out, check it for holes. Okay. In the clinical site, you'll take these filters and throw them away. For our lab practice, we tend to keep them so that we can reuse them. You can place this lid underneath the pan. Just make sure that you watch your face so you're not getting too close to your sterile instruments. Okay. Then we're going to open these small items here. So I have towels, which are going to be envelope wrapped. So the flap away from you, the two side flaps, and then the flap closest to you. Approach the field, toss it on, and then check your wrapper to make sure that there's no holes. I have a suture that I'm going to shoot onto the field, so I want to crack it open and then shoot it on and check my wrapper. We have a package of Ratex, which has a paper over the top and then a plastic hard portion here. There's an arrow here. You grab that corner, peel back your paper. You're then going to approach the field, toss it on, making sure that you don't come down over the top of the field. Again, check your wrapper to make sure that there's no holes. On the gloves, if you wear a larger size of gloves, that's the glove that needs to go on the Mayo stand, and then your smaller size of gloves needs to go to the back table. So open your gloves, making sure that they don't shift over that laminated edge. Toss it onto the field, check your wrapper. And then we're going to open the pair to the Mayo stand. Okay. All right, these things, the trocars, the Berry's needle, the endo shear, and the clip applier are going to have to be open to you after you get scrubbed in by your circulating nurse. Okay, once your room's open, then we'll go out and do our scrub.